Good morning, good morning. Welcome to today's ad-free live stream. My name is Tyler, and I'm going to be helping navigate you through the wild world of day trading futures. If you're here for the first time, I'm really glad that you're here. Thanks for joining us. And if you're watching this after the fact, you can jump to the key moments using the chapter markers below to find all the trades that I've taken, along with a detailed explanation of what I was thinking and why. We're going to be talking about my daily trading bias today, giving you a front row seat to all the action, no fluff, just the good stuff. And if you are looking to take your trading to the next level, you can use the code DTJ to get anywhere from 50 to 90% off your next Apex account. I believe currently the best deal right now is still doing your resets, which are $35 for a reset to reset a individual account. So you'll have to buy an account based off of I think it was a 50% discount. You can get a 50% discount with the code DTJ, and then if you have to reset it, you can reset it for $35, which is right now the best deal. So let's go ahead and open in prayer. Father, we just honor you this morning. Thank you for the opportunity we have as traders to trade. Father, I pray for everyone on this stream, Father, that they would see increase in their trading. They would see increase in their understanding as they continue to exercise this gift you've given us. Father, I just thank you that you're always by our side, that you never leave us or forsake us. Even in the tough moments, even in the good moments, Father, you are there, and we honor and trust you and trust your leadership. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, folks, how we doing this morning? Good morning. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Today, I'm expecting an inside day. An inside or a fake break day. No, meaning I don't see extended moves happening. If we go to the daily chart, you're going to see this giant candle right here. I think this candle is going to stay inside this high and this low. That's where I think we're going to end up staying, is inside this range here. That's where I think we're going to stay. So if we are going to stay inside this range, we're going to have to drop down to a lower time frame to figure out what are the key levels that price could find support or resistance at, or places for reversals or continuations. So we just hit this swing high from yesterday's AM session. We just swept that buy side liquidity right here on the 4-hour, the 2 a.m. 4-hour candle. We just swept that, and we are now pushing lower, which is expected. So if I had any assumption, I would say based on the run of this liquidity, I would be looking for the Asia lows to be ran. This is the low of day. This is the current low of day, which also is Asia lows. So I would like to see that to be ran. That would also be the 17th of the new day opening gap. I think I'm going to remove that because it is past the 5-day mark for our new days. I only like to keep them on there for at least 5 days, just to make sure we have a clean chart. If we drop down to the 1 hour, we have this 1 hour fair value gap that we've wicked up into and have rejected from and pushing lower. So we have liquidity here, here, and here. So I think that's where initially my attention is drawn to. Let's see where our opening range gap is. It's going to be right here. And then let's mark our midnight open. Good morning, Tony, Ted, T-Loff. How you doing? Glad to have you guys this morning. We should have a good day of trading. We're gonna exercise extra patience today. We're gonna look for the big move. That's what we're gonna look for. We're gonna look for the move. Whatever you wanna the move to be. So midnight open has been ran through multiple times. So midnight open isn't of any significant interest to me right now. I do see a market maker sell model that we've seen over the course of the AM session, of the morning session so far, the pre-market. We got 9 minutes till open. And we're sitting right at the monthly opening price. So this is where we opened on January 3rd. And this is a lot of consolidation. So I like all this consolidation here. And then run. This is just our Asia low of day, current low of day. And there is no fair value gaps on the 15-minute. No fair value gaps on the hourly or 4-hour. So we got to drop all the way down to the 5-minute here. And there's not a single fair value gap that hasn't been filled on the 5-minute. Everything's been filled. So when I look at where's the next 5-minute, that the last 5-minute is right here. It's crazy. So everything has been filled since yesterday. It's really a lot of back and forth price action that we've seen so far. So we've ran this liquidity here, a sweep of this, moved higher, consolidated, moved higher, back into this consolidation range. My question is do we see a run on liquidity here to move higher, or do we stay and stay to the on the lower end of things? There's reason to move higher. That's the thing. There is reason to move higher, and I would love for Asia low to be hit to move higher. London low has already been tagged, so we may not see anything from here. We could see a push higher. So I'm seeing, I don't have a clear read on price action or on drawn liquidity or what the narrative would be. The bias, I would say overall, is bearish based on how we've seen this drop today, but we really need to start running through these lows to confirm that. We really need to see this, the previous week low from the 13th to be ran through for us to have that confidence that we are seeing lower prices. Esteban, good morning. T, good morning. We got a lot of T's in our in our group. T Loft, Ted, Tony, Tyler. It's gonna be a good time. T Esteban. That was a good one. That was a good. You can put T in front of anything. The T Squad. Okay, so I think I have everything set up here. Give me a second to get my copier and everything set up here. I did go ahead and get 2 eval accounts. So depending on how things look, we may look at doing working on some evals here. Okay. Here we go. I think I'm all set. I would have rather see this ran, but now we got equal highs. We're talking a really small range right here for the opening range gap. It's less than 10 handles currently right now. So if that's the case, we will not be taking the 930 model. And it's too close to the market open for any type of, even if we ran lower and we ended up down here, I don't think I would be interested in taking it because we're so close to the open right now. But if we do stay and find support inside of this opening range, this fair value gap, we could see these equal highs ran. Yeah, we got a small range here. That's how big the opening range gap is. And the high should be ran right now. So we're going to go ahead and remove the opening range here. We're going to mark our 930 price. SWIP of those equal highs. Doesn't look pretty here. Got Asia lows down here. I mean, from a 15-minute perspective, I see the idea of lower prices. Just when I look at structure and liquidity where it's been ran. But we still also have this opening range gap up here. Excuse me, the new week opening gap that's sitting up above us. That gives us nothing. If it closed, relatively, around here, that would have been something. But there's that move lower we're referring to. 30 handles. From this breaker, it's 47 handles down to the Asia lows. I like that level there. Let's see if we can wick up into here first, and I might be interested in going short if we get up into here and we reject it. I just want to be careful that it doesn't want to move and run against me. All right. See if it pushes here. Where do we close? 11 seconds. Okay, I like that. All right, I'm going to give it another minute. Make sure my screen is up and running. Here's a breaker right here as well. We just tapped. I like this candle here. I'm being patient. I want to take it, but I'm waiting to see what kind of closers we get. Do we got any news today? News at 10 a.m. Might run without me here. I feel bad that I didn't take that, guys. I really do. I hope somebody took that, because that's at least 50 handles right there. I don't know why I was being shy. I liked everything that I saw, and I didn't take it. Jamie, way to go. Steven, yes I am. I am a realtor. Jamie, the 930 model is a model I take that I share inside my Discord. It's a quick model that's designed to help traders have a quick win. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme at all, but it's to kind of scratch that itch and help people start seeing some cash in their account while they commit to the process of learning. Because day trading will take significantly longer than you ever thought it would. I thought I was going to be profitable in 4 months. It took me 18. Yeah, that was the thing about it, is Ted. I was like, I wanted to get in here, but I'm like, oh well, it closed strong here. Let's see what it wants to do, and it closed here, and I'm like, well, maybe it might wick back up in here again, and then I'll take it, and it didn't. So my hesitation caused me to lose there. If I see the setup, I just need to take it, and I didn't there. So I will be journaling that today. Eva, good morning. Good morning. Morning. So at this point, now that we've ran Asia lows, I'm open to a reversal. That reversal would come in the form of right around there for a breaker. I think for a reversal, if I want to see higher prices, though, I'm going to wait for a 5-minute order block or 5-minute change in state of delivery. Ah, man, I wish I took that. I'd have been a 50 handle move, and I would have been done for the day. Those are the moves that I want. And I didn't pull the trigger. Jamie, ORG is the opening range gap. If you go to the bottom of your screen, down here, you'll see the ETH. If I select that, it's going to give me the options for regular trading hours. If I select it, hang on. We're going to look at this screen right here. If I select it and I select regular trading hours, it's going to give me the opening price. And because of where we open, let me give you an idea. So this is an opening range gap right here. This was yesterday's trading where it closed, and then this where it opened. That's the opening range gap. Cuts out a lot of the, if I'm just looking at the opening range area, there's liquidity down here. I could see us going down to this 5-minute actually. Looks way better with for regular trading hours. I think I'm open for it to coming all the way down to this 5-minute. Guys, I'm probably going to wait till 10 o'clock. I'm really... I feel like we're in the middle of the range. We do have news at 10. Existing home sales. Wait, no. This is the wrong one. Tuesday, we got consumer confidence at 10. And I missed my opportunity in that breaker. So I think it's wise to wait unless something becomes really obvious. You know, one thing I did not incorporate is the wick. We need to do that. The mean threshold is right in line with that with the previous month's low. You can see that there. So MT, mean threshold. All right, so now that we're running this low, if you see that we respected this order block, meaning bearish order flow, we now are going to create a breaker, and that breaker is going to be right in line with this order block. That is the most obvious level that I see right now. So as long as I see some type of expansion, if we come back up into this order block and this breaker, I'm interested or would be willing to consider a short there. 12 handles. I might need it to come up to the breaker. I'd want it to come up into the breaker here. So the breaker's sitting at 188.25. I'm going to put a sell limit there. Let's see if it can give it to us. I'm going to put it up a little bit higher. Have it sitting at 190. $191.25. All right, so I'm now in that trade. Let's see if it just pushes right through it or if it rolls over for us. Nope. 10 handle stop. I did like this. I did like it. We just tagged Asia. Oh, that sucks. I don't like that. I don't like the tag of Asia. Now it's probably, there's a good chance it might run. I'm not going to jump back into this. I'm going to wait. Yeah, we got news. I do like this level right here. How big is that? That's 20 handles? Dang. No close. I don't think I'm interested in a long yet. If I'm going to take a long, it's probably going to be off of that. But we're inside the time. I'm not taking a trade for. I'm waiting for news. We're going to have a 5-minute inversion right here, in line with a 3-minute inversion, with a 1-minute inversion. That all looks good. Honestly, I would prefer it to come back down to about this level here. You could probably make it here. Sweep into this fair value gap. We already did once. So on that last trade, for whatever reason, none of my accounts were copied. So that was a trade on one account, and that was a loss of $100 for that trade. Everything about this is looking great. The only reason I'm not participating in this is news. We're going to wait until after the news, because the news could literally just move us the other direction. I've seen stuff like that before, but also it could give us a nice explosion higher to where you get to capitalize off that. So if the 959 candle closes right here and it closes above the first fair value gap, I won't take anything unless we wick down into the fair value gap and then immediately start moving higher. I'll take the long here for these highs. Does that make sense? I'm seeing confirmation on the close of the candle. I'm seeing that it's respecting by not blowing through this inversion fair value gap right here. And then I would look at it to run higher. Why does... I don't understand. Oh, I do. I understand. I also, if we get a candle on the news that comes back down into this fair value gap here, into this fair value gap, I would be open to taking a long as well. Obviously, I need to see it find support here at the Asia lows, fair value gap, breaker, and then a continuation to the upside. Because ultimately, I think we still move higher. We got the opening range gap over here. We got the new week opening gap sitting up here. We got the daily highs sitting right here. That's kind of the idea at this point, since we've already grabbed Asia low. All right, let's see where this goes. We've got 10 seconds before news. This is a large fair value gap. So even though we inversed it, I would want it to come back down into it before I take a long. But it looks like it's just going to run without us, because I'm not going to take it. That's 17 handles to that high. I mean, you got to imagine, guys, like if I was to take that short right there or take that long right here, this trade is valid. This trade is basically valid all the way through here, and that's 28 handles of drawdown. I'm not going to do that. All right, so there's our push higher. I'm just not liking the way it's setting up. It's just not following the way I want it to. Way to go, T. You took the inversion 835 for 30 points. I think that's fantastic. Way to go, man. Way to go. Call it a day. I remember back when I'd watch other people and I would see that they would make money and I didn't make money. And I remember just feeling so frustrated. It's like, oh man, how do they do it? Why can't I do it? Blah, 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 blah. Now I'm just like, it's changed completely for me. I'm pumped when I see people make money. Whether I took it or not, I don't care. I mean, I'm pissed off that I didn't take this trade, not because somebody else took it, but because I saw it, recognized it, and hesitated. That's what irks me more than anything, is the hesitation on taking a trade. Like for this trade right here, I chose not to take this trade because it was right at 930. I've seen price reject off 930 so many times. I'm just not going to take it. The risk on this whole trade is 30 handles. I don't want to go down 30 handles and draw down. I could not handle that. So I'm okay with accepting the fact that it went in my favor. The risk to reward just wasn't there for me. Way to go, Esteban. I'm glad it worked. I'm glad you were able to benefit from it. Right now, for me personally, where I'm putting my study and my time in is understanding the higher time key levels. So Asia low, Asia high, London low, London high, previous day low, previous day high, weekly low, weekly high. And really seeing my trades off of these levels. And then the 4-hour candle, which is a newer concept for me. Understanding the 4-hour candle and liquidity sitting above and below those candles. That's a newer concept for a higher time frame that I'm trying to digest. So that's kind of where my focus has been lately, is capitalizing that, because I feel like I could get rid of a lot of losers by really zeroing in on these higher time frame key levels. So I want to that's kind of what I've been doing. Actually, look at this. Now that I dragged this breaker here, and I just saw this candle right here. You see how nice that is? That to me is an example of a trade I should have took. I know it's close to the news. If news wasn't here, because we hit a higher time frame key level in the Asia lows. We ran those and we had displacement higher. And this closed 55. And it came back down into that breaker. Even though I think we might think it could run lower, I have to put my confidence in these higher time frame liquidity points, because it's in these liquidity points that we see the reversals. And these are the points that I just have to learn to take more risk on. Now, when I said I wanted it to hit this breaker, it already did this. So it was right here. We were sitting right here. So it already touched it. So if it tagged this breaker after the fact, I would have taken it. But it's finding these levels and then just taking the trades off of those. For example, like this, I don't think this is a reversal. I see this as a retracement. So my goal is to find, where is this retracement going towards? How low is it going to go? And my goal would be to be somewhere around this level here, and then see if we can have it push higher again. Play an inversion or something like that. Even though we grabbed liquidity here, there's all this sitting up here. And you look at this 1 hour candle. This 1 hour candle closed very sheepish. Large wick, small body. That I think we may see another push higher. So how low do we want to go? That's the question. So I'm not going to try to catch a falling knife here. But if I had to guess where it's going to do it, I think it's going to be somewhere around here. And if I wanted to take the long, I can take it off this inversion right here. Yeah, are you talking about right here being the unicorn? Oh, right here. Yeah, if it wants to, my confirmation that this is going to play out would be an inversion right here, and I'll go on long based on this inversion. But if it wants to run lower, I'll accept that as well and look at that. I'm going to take this long. Buy side target, it's going to be 411. Stops to break even. I do need to close my evals account, because I don't want them to run all the way back to 0. I'm going to go ahead and save that and secure that. See if it comes back down and tags me. The reason I did that, main reason is we hit the previous week low and we rejected it. That was the idea. I wanted it to go through it, but it did not run through it. It rejected it. So it went from 354 to 370. So I got 15 handles out of that. Apparently I'm still in a trade. There we go. Is anybody still in this breaker or in this long? See, here's where I would say I really would want to be able to take the trades from here. But my problem is I've been burned so many times on it running lower, just deeper, that it's like I want to wait for the confirmation that we're moving the other direction. So I have to get better at finding out when these are going to hold and when they're not. Because I could have had an extra 38 handles by simply taking it from that breaker. Yeah, see, I'm glad I took profit. We were just kind of consolidating right at the previous week low. So here's profits for today. Nothing crazy right now. Ultimately, I do think we go higher. I think what I would want to see, though, is a stab manipulation into this inversion, into this fair value gap, and then use that as my long. We do obviously have this order block, so it absolutely doesn't have to. We already hit this level here. I like this 5-minute order block in here. I think what I'm really looking for is just a stab into this. I don't like going long when we have multiple green candles. I want the manipulation, which I should have done it here if I was going to do it, but that's where I got out on my other trade. I have such a long ways to go as a trader. I let levels kind of scare me out of position, so I held that through here. And that now is just exploding higher. Look at that. Look at that. Missed out on that opportunity. Because I got scared out of position because of previous week low. Breaker was beautiful. It's these that, I mean, if I'm going to do something today, I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and I'm going to talk about how I got scared out of position and never hit my break even point. I could have just, left it at break even and I could have let it ride. I put this here because I wanted this to be my target. 411, I wanted my target to be. It was right around here. That would have been 50 handles. I think that is the difference between a good trader and a multi-million-dollar day trader. Somebody that can do that. And that's the journey that I'm on. That's the journey that I'm headed towards. I can get in the trades. I can identify order flow. But I have not fully mastered the self-talk that happens when you're in a trade. The self-talk that tells me, just take it out. Yeah. All right, I'm going to put another level on here, see if we get a rejection at this low, this hourly low. This technically is the breaker on the hourly chart. It's the low on the 15-minute as well. You know what? Look, yeah, there's the previous week. Is it the start of a market maker buy model? Yeah, I mean, I think I already thought we were going to move up higher to this level here. So now it's just a matter of does it reject it here or does it push right through it? Look at these candles, man. It's pumping. We're running. Isn't that crazy how money messes with your brain, man? If this was a demo trade, I would have not sold it. I would have not sold it there. I would have say, yeah, I want to see if it can reach up to here. That's what I would have done. But because I have real money and I can see the money, I can see the ticks. It is a master that, man, and the world's yours. The trading world would be yours. Man, it did exactly what I wanted today. Hit Asia lows. Started moving higher. I just didn't capitalize on it, folks. I think what I'm going to be doing here is I'm hoping we start getting this. And then at the 11 a.m. macro, we do another push higher. $21,170. Is that what we got? So he basically called it based on the daily fair value gap. I don't know if that's what he called it off of, but wonder how he came up with that level. Yeah, I'm hoping we consolidate around here a little bit. Maybe give us an opportunity for another long. He did call it off the daily. That kind of aligns with how I view how ICT talks about liquidity. So we have the lows, right? We have the liquidity, but what ICT talks about all the time is that after you run a point of liquidity, so Asia lows, it's gonna continue till it fills an imbalance. So we have zero imbalances here on the 1 minute, none on the 5 minute, none on the 30 minute, none on the hourly or the 4 hour. That means the only fair value gap is the daily. So if I'm putting together kind of his whole narrative, is that he was expecting it to run Asia lows, but then he was looking at how much further is it going to go. The only thing that's here is the daily fair value gap. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, look at this. I really want it. I really like that. One standard deviation put us right at the mean threshold of the wick from yesterday. Also, it put us at the monthly low and in between the new week opening gap sitting right here. One standard deviation higher from this manipulation leg, we ran right into that right here. And that's originally what my target was. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go along here and I'm going to target way up here. I'm going to target the 1 standard deviation. And I freaking let my emotions talk me out of it. I'll get better at it. I'll be right back. I can use the restroom. Little breaker right there to the downside. So right now I'm looking at doing my small account challenge. I am waiting for that one trade. This is the small account challenge has been waiting for the perfect, not the perfect, but the best, the A+ setups has been difficult because I only get one trade on this account per day. So this would have been one that I want to go long, but I'm not gonna go long because it's 10:38. And I just have to wait for, I think, a better opportunity. I'm hoping that it doesn't go anywhere. And I need to wait for that setup that just looks too good to pass up. We did hit buy side liquidity support right here. Man, if it could just be closer to 1045, I'd feel more confident about trying this on the small account challenge. I am changing my rules for the small account challenge. I'm going to allow myself 2 trades, but only if my first trade is a break-even trade. So if I get my stop to break even, I'm willing to take a second trade if I'm stopped out at break even, because I want to start moving my stop to break even more. On the small account challenge specifically is what I'm referring to. I could see us moving further lower. Looking at the previous week low. I would like to see this right here. I would like to see this 15-minute filled, and then once this 15-minute candle closes, and I would look for a long from here. I think that's what I want. I want to wait till this 15-minute candle closes here. We wick down into this 15-minute, still in line with a bullish breaker. Institutional order flow down in here for a higher move. We could target this little wick right here. That would be huge. That's 153 handles. I mean, we could target this wick here. Right, I like that because it's right at the midpoint of the opening range gap. So I think I'll do that level there. And that would give us almost 100 handles. I think that's going to be my plan. We'll see if it wants to give us that idea here. Looking at it coming into here. My stop needs to be 10 handles. So I would need it, honestly, to come down here for me to have an appropriate stop. So I'm going to look at an entry around 391. But I'm not going to take it on this first stab. I'm going to wait for us to find some support. Or maybe I take it now. I'm going to slap myself in the face if I did that again. I feel like I got in too early. Got low resistance liquidity. We did close above that fair value gap. Technically, not really. If we can get above this, I'm going to look to moving my stop to break even. And then target, like I said, 506. I'm going to move my stop to break even to allow for another trade because I think this might go lower. But I'll let it run and play. See where it wants to go. No. So there's break even. I'm going to look for a sweep of this level here. If we can get a sweep and a close above, I'm going to take that as my entry for a long. Or if this starts running without me, I may take that 1 minute inversion to the upside. But yeah, it's slowing down. It's consolidating. That's kind of what's happening. Volume is volume is irrelevant, Brian. It's all about creating orders. It's all about getting people to put in positions to go long, put their stops in, and then it runs that liquidity, and then it moves in the opposite direction. The algorithm will move price regardless of how much liquidity is there. I mean, think about it. I mean, honestly, think about it. If you look right here, all this, when did this happen? All that. 500 handles. When half the world can't even trade. There's no volume here, yet it moved aggressively. This is why I think volume is a joke. In the sense of why price moves. Volume, the algorithm is going to target volume and liquidity wherever it's sitting. Whether there's a lot of orders or a few orders on there. My biggest issue or challenge with the small account challenge is finding the appropriate entry that can handle my stop loss. So for example, I should have taken that trade right here. I should have taken that, and I would have been up 46 handles at that high that I could have closed. I mean, I would have been happy with 46 handles. But it is such a contrarian mindset to take a trade when it's doing this, when it's just dropping. Very difficult to do. But when you know the narrative and you build more confidence with that narrative, you become more confident in taking those trades. And that's what I should have done. I marked it out. I said when it comes into here, I wanted to take it. Yet I didn't take it until it came up here, because I wanted the confirmation that price was not going to keep dropping. Yet I should have already known that it's going to wick into this 15-minute. It's probably going to find support. And guess where it found support at? The midpoint. So if anything, put your entry right above the midpoint. That's what I should have done. And then that leads to additional mistakes. You're like, oh, I missed the trade, so maybe I'm going to get in here. And then now your stop is ran because you didn't take it when the appropriate time was. So now that I missed that, I can't make that mistake and just go long, even though it looks like it wants to go higher here. I want to wait for the sweep of liquidity. I want to wait for it to sweep liquidity and then run the other direction. I think anytime you see an accelerated down move, it's probably going to give you a V. And I think NVIDIA is too valuable of a company. If it's going to go here, that's disappointing. I don't like how it didn't run liquidity here. I should have took that trade way down here. There's your close. Now we have a breaker right here, right at the midpoint. Of this inversion. So if it doesn't run for the high, I will take that entry there. I still feel like there's a better trade than what I'm describing here. Dang it, it's going to stop me out. Come on. It just inversed this altogether. That sucks. Well, that's it for that trade. Folks, we're going to call it a day there. I think we might just be consolidating back and forth here. Maybe till the PM session here today. But we're going to call it a day. I will be back here tomorrow, 9:15 New York Standard Time. We are green on the day on our funded accounts. Took one trade on the small account challenge, and that did not pan out for me. So sitting right around $500 of my starting account after 8 days of trading. That small stop loss is getting me. And not proper timing, not proper entries for that one entry opportunity. So we're going to continue to do that, but I have to stick with the rules, one trade per day, and follow that. And we'll try that again tomorrow. So we will be back here tomorrow, 9:15. See you guys then. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.